We've got a fever, and the prescription is playoffs.
Yeah, it is.
Right? This is the latest edition of the LL Spring Sports Roundtable. It's brought to you by Substitute Teacher Service, which is in, but not of, America. Am I right?
Very good. Very
All
good.
right. My name is Mike Gross, and the gentlemen to my left and right are Jason Parente, Jeff Reinhardt.
Yep.
We're at the end of the regular season in all of our spring sports in the Lancaster Lebanon League, and we're headed toward league championships, league playoffs, and in some cases, district playoffs. So let's get started with that. One of our favorite annual events, the LL Track Meet, coming this weekend, and Jason will tell us more.
Friday and Saturday at Hempfield, LL Track and Field Championships. I guess we'll talk about records. There could be some records that could go down, some notable ones. First of all, Cedar Crest sophomore Cadell Howard will compete in the league championship. She did not last year, so she has never been a league champion. That'll probably change. The one record within reach for her would be the 400, which was set by Warwick's Leah Grable at 56:55, somewhere around there. If Cadell runs that event, we're not sure what she's going to run. I mean, her times are consistently below that, so that record is within reach. Another record within reach is the javelin. Kristen Herr of LS set that record at 142.1. Eliana Schneider, Cedar Crest sophomore, could surpass that. She has a few times this season. These are LL meet records, not overall records.
Yeah.
The long jump, Oleana Orovitz of Solanco is at 18.7. The record's 18.10 by Leslie Hummer of Anvil Cleona. That one stood for a long time, so that's within reach. Not a sure thing, but possible. And Sarai Wiggum of Lebanon has triple jumped 39 feet. The LL meet record, Stephanie Loudian, is at 38.7. So that's another one that could go down. So the girls' side has been really strong for 2 years in a row. And that's just 4 records that could be in play. You never know. The weather's not supposed to be great, which could hurt the performances. Notable on the boys' side, Nick Keller, the defending champ in the 100, 200, and 400, will compete. He came back for a dual meet this week. He had an injured hamstring and missed a few weeks of the regular season. We're not sure which events he will run. I would presume he won't run all 3, but you never know. He is the defending champion in all 3. Also interesting, the javelin, we have number 1 and number 2 in District 3, Class 3A. Conestoga Valley's Aiden Zimmerman and Cedar Crest Dylan Groff. They're separated 188 to 186, so by about 2 feet. That's a powerhouse competition, and that'll be something that'll get revisited at Shippensburg at districts next week. And one other thing I noticed is David Moran at Anvil Cleona ran 155 in the boys 800. For Class 2A, that is a phenomenal time. That's 3rd in the state and number 1 in District 3. He's not a name that we've mentioned, but he's someone that will be reckoned with when we get to districts and states.
Yeah, sometimes those AA kids sneak up on you, and that's what you talked about that before. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, let's volley a little bit. Right?
We'll go indoors. Okay, volleyball. Cut and dried pretty much here in volleyball. We're at the end. Thursday night's the last night of section play and the regular season. No LL teams are playing after Thursday. So here we go. Section 1's been great from the start. We're at the finish line there. Hempfield, great 3-0 win at Cedar Crest on Tuesday night. Amazing match. Amazing match. Black Knights finish up 10-2. Warwick, as we sit here, is 9-2. Warriors play at home Thursday night against Manheim Township. So pretty simple scenario. If Warwick wins, they tie Hempfield for the section championship. The 1 seed for the league playoff would be based on, first would be head-to-head, they split. Second would be District 3 power rating. And right now Warwick is 3rd and Hempfield is 7th. So Warwick, if they win on Thursday, co-champs, and Warwick would host the semifinals next Monday night. If Warwick wins, that will be their 3rd Section 1 title in a row, shared or otherwise outright. And Warwick is trying to get to the championship match next week for the 4th year in a row, which is pretty good. Section 2 wrapped up. Manheim Central just cruising along here all spring. Barons have been awesome. They're 11-0 in the league. Back-to-back section champ. They already clinched. They'll go for their 2nd straight 12-0 season on Thursday against Garden Spot. Manheim Central has not dropped a set all spring. and they played in a couple of tournaments, which don't count. But between section play and non-league matches, they have not dropped a set, and they're number 2 in the state, and they'll be out to defend their league title. Lastly, Cocalico clinched second place and the league playoff spot in Section 2. Eagles are really good. They're good. 9-2, they're runner-up. They finish up Thursday against E-Town. Win or lose, doesn't matter. They'll be the 2 seed out of Section 2. Next Monday, semifinals, doubleheader, 5 o'clock at the Section 1 champ. LL finals next Wednesday, 7 o'clock at Township. Real quick, District 3 in AAA, Cedar Crest, Hempfield, Penn Manor, Warwick, AA. Lancaster Mennonite, Cocalico, Manheim Central, obviously, they'd be the 3 seed if it pans out. And then Linville Hill would be in, and Northern Lebanon would be in. And if it ended today, Northern Lebanon would play Cocalico and Hempfield would play Penn Manor in first round matches. So a lot on the horizon here with softball. They get their playoff started next Monday night.
With volleyball.
Volleyball, what did I say?
It's funny how this is apropos to nothing. I just noticed this,
Yes.
but in volleyball, a lot of times they have to go to the. I would think to break ties, they have to go to the power ranking because it's like the second.
It's the second one now.
Yeah,
it's pretty much that
most
way.
sports. That's kind of like the 4th or 5th last resort kind of
head
thing.
to head, and everybody in Section 1 this spring has beaten each other. Nobody's 2-0 against
Right,
anybody.
Right, and they
So
only
that's-
play twice.
Yep,
so,
and that's
yeah.
the first one, and the second one is power rating, and right now Warwick would win that. Bottom line, if Warwick wins Thursday, they share the section title.
Softball mania. The league playoffs are set. We'll get to that in a minute, but I just want to review one game that was played on Monday, the last night of the regular season, which was for a section title. Northern Lebanon at Anvil wins 7-0 to lock up that section title. The winner either way would have been the section champ because of the 3-time head-to-head thing that is always the tiebreaker. Lindsey Manzer of the Vikings pitched a terrific game, shutout, complete game shutout, and the Vikes move on. So, both teams move on, but you know what I'm saying. Quarterfinals on Friday with one exception. Here we go. This is as they appear on the bracket. Section 2 champion Solanco, 16-2. Against Anvil Cleona, 15-4. Donegal, the Section 3 champion, 19-1 on the year, number 2 in districts in 5A. They'll play Hempfield. This is a good matchup here. Hempfield, 16-3. That's the Section 1 runner-up. And then on Saturday at noon, I don't know why they're playing they're not playing on Friday. Could be a lot of reasons in the spring. That's how it goes, yeah. Northern Lebanon, the aforementioned Northern Lebanon against Section 2 runner-up Elizabethtown, 14-6. And then the bottom of the bracket, Section 1 champion Warwick, 16-3 against Section 3 runner-up Manheim Central, which is 11-8. And all of those teams are comfortably in districts except Manheim Central, which is number 16 in 5A. So they probably have some work to do, and we'll get into well, we're not going to get into it, but it involves the decimal point math of the power rankings.
Beautiful.
There you have it. Jason, give us a little lax.
You'll notice something's changed since the first time I talked, so we'll let you guys figure out what that is. But not much has changed in LAC since the last week when we did this. The semifinal pairings have been set for a while. Boys and girls matchups are the same. Manheim Township versus Cocalico, Lampeter Strasburg versus Hempfield. Boys semifinals are at Warwick on Friday. Girls are at Penn Manor. The championship is a doubleheader at F&M on Tuesday. Girls games at 5, boys games at 7. So if you're interested in both teams, there's going to be a lot of overlap. You can watch both games if you want to. A couple things about districts I noticed is Manheim Township boys are now number 2. They fell behind State College for the number 1 seed. State College is in District 3 for some reason.
Yeah.
And
reason.
14-1 State College. So that'll be interesting. Also, Hempfield's 5, and I noticed they have 4 losses. 2 are against Manheim Township, and 1 is against Central York, which are all top teams. So Hempfield's kind of looming out there as a possible dangerous opponent because they've been real close to Township. The first 2 times they've played, they could meet in the league final, so that's something to watch. On the girls' side, Manheim Township is the number 1 seed. Their scores against District 3 opponents are ridiculous. They blow them out by double digits every time. They've had some tough matches with District 1 teams, the Downingtowns, Pencrest, those types, but no one in District 3 has been able to touch them. District 1 is always sort of the standard for boys and girls lacrosse. And, the number 2 seed in behind Township is Wilson, and number 3 is Dallastown, so they would be the most likely, I guess, to challenge the Blue Streaks for the district title.
See, you thought Jason wasn't going to have anything to say about Lax, and he had plenty.
Not bad.
He had plenty. He's using that stick mic to good effect, as far as I'm concerned. I want to just quickly, I didn't spell out the schedule for softball, so let me do that. The semis are on Monday, 4 and 7 at Millersville University. The final is Wednesday, 7 o'clock start also at Millersville University's softball facility.
Pusillo Field.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah, right behind where they play hoops. Yep,
Correct.
tennis, my man.
There you go. Tennis is in districts.
Yeah, I know.
We're talking about like LL playoff brackets.
Yeah.
Tennis is just cruising along here. Okay, last week, District 3 singles championship matches. AAA, 2 LL kids won, and you know their names. Cooper Lehman, junior at Hempfield, beat Cedar Crest by Seth Meng, 6-1, 6-love, for his 3rd straight District 3 3A championship. We talked a lot about Niall Abadir in the last couple of years.
So those two, the Cedar Crest kid was in the final?
They were in the final. All LL final at the Cocoa Club. Cooper Lehman is doing stuff.
He's doing stuff.
3 straight LLs, 3 straight District 3s, so he won. 2A, Michael George Ellis, junior at Lancaster Country Day. And both Cooper and Michael were LL champs. They both won district titles. George Ellis beat Armin Malik from Conrad Weiser 6-3, 6-3. So George Ellis in 2A and Cooper Lehman in 3A win district singles titles. Next up in districts are the team championships on Wednesday as we sit. 3A title match, Manheim Township. They kind of upset Hempfield in the semis.
Oh, okay.
Township plays Dallastown in 3A. Lancaster Country Day out to defend its title, plays Conrad Weiser in 2A. Interestingly, the 3rd place match in 3A is Hempfield against Cedar Crest. So a lot of LL teams still dancing in districts. Next up will be the doubles finals next Friday and Saturday, and I'm sure there'll be a ton of LL kids in that, including Lehman and George Ellis and Weigel and Hurst. So great tennis this spring. I know that's something we don't always talk about, but the tennis around here has been outstanding.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to baseball. Again, we had a championship game on, in effect, a championship game on Monday. Hempfield beat Penn Manor 1-0.
Whoa.
It was pretty crazy in Section 1. It could have been a 3-way tie, in which case Penn Manor would have been the number 1 seed from Section 1. And as it turned out, Penn Manor didn't make it to playoffs at all. They're actually finishing 3rd. But anyway, Braden Eckert, pitcher for Penn Manor, took a no-hitter into the 5th inning of this game. Hempfield got a infield single in the 6th inning, so that was their only hit going into the 7th. And Brody Gebhardt led off the 7th with a triple, and it was a legitimate towering shot. And then Logan Harrelson, the good pitcher who's going to South Florida, followed with an RBI single. Game over. Hempfield wins it 1-0. Gebhardt also pitched the shutout, by the way. So Hempfield gets the number 1 seed out of Section 1. So here we go again. Quarterfinals. They are Thursday at the home field. Tomorrow, Thursday, at the home field of the section champs. Hempfield, 15-5 against Manheim Central.
Wow.
12-7. Northern Lebanon, 18-2. They're the Section 4 champ against Section 2 runner-up Lampeter Strasburg, which is 13-6. Donegal, the Section 3 champion, 16-4 against Manheim Township. That's a really good matchup because Township has been playing really well lately. Township is 13-6. And then at the bottom of the bracket, Section 2 champion and defending league champion, Ephrata, 14-6 against Lancaster Catholic, which has not had a great year, but lately they've been hitting, they've been scoring runs, and they've won like 4 in a row. They are 12-6, and they're the runner-up from Section 4. So those are all Thursday. Saturday, semifinals, 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. at War Memorial Field in Ephrata. Monday, the 13th, the championship game, a 7 p.m. start at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Gentlemen, anything else for the good of the order?
Good luck, track kids. I hope it doesn't rain on you.
Yeah. This coming Saturday used to be like the nightmarish day for me when I was trying to cover for other publications, trying to cover every sport. It's not as bad this year. The baseball and softball, all of that stuff was also on Saturdays. Not so much anymore, but anyway, it's going to get really busy really fast. So anyway, this has been the LL Spring Sports Roundtable. And for Jason and for Jeff and for Mike, we'll see you later.